And we are just so honored and so grateful for Merritt and all the work that he's put into putting on this concert for us. And I'd like to bring him up now. This is our Mr. Merritt Holloway, and we are so grateful for him.
All right, thank you, everyone. Okay, the first piece I'm going to play is the Fantasy Impromptu, and so it was written by Frederick Chopin, who was a Romantic era Polish composer, and he came from a musical family, and he grew up and completed his musical education in Warsaw, and his Fantasy Impromptu in C-sharp minor, Opus 66, is a solo piano composition that was composed in 1834 and dedicated to Julian Fontana. The melody of the middle section was used by a popular song, I'm Always Chasing Rainbows, which was a popular vaudeville song. The music is credited to Harry Carroll, although the melody is actually adapted from Chopin's Fantasy Impromptu. The lyrics were written by Joseph McCartney, and the song was published in 1917 and introduced in the Broadway show Oh Look, which opened in March 1980. So this will be the Fantasy Impromptu by Frederick Chopin. Thank you. Okay. I didn't really mean to open it with that one, but I didn't have a choice because he was the oldest composer, and I tried to keep it historically accurate, although I did make a couple of changes. So the next piece I'm going to play is Carl Czerny, and he was an Austrian composer with Czech origin whose vast musical production, with more than 1,000 pieces, is always being rediscovered. Czerny as well came from a musical family, and his book of etudes and other studies for piano are still widely used in the pianistic pedagogy. Czerny studied under Clementi, Hummel, Solari, and Beethoven, and his most famous student was Franz Liszt, who I'll be playing later, so I tried to also tie in a little bit of, you know, like who's doing what, that kind of a thing. So Czerny left a large number of piano solo exercises for the development of the pianistic technique designed to cover from the first lessons of the child up to the needs of the most advanced virtuoso. And this exercise of octaves is from his 740 series, The Art of Dexterity for the Piano. And to be honest, I have been working on about maybe 35 of these exercises. I've been practicing them, I'd say, for about the last 3 years. And normally I wouldn't exactly play them because they're mostly sort of like exercises, but this one, it kind of just came out at me, and I just said, okay, I'm gonna play one. So I'm gonna attempt this one, and hopefully you'll like it. But it's a etude in octaves. Listen, I know it could have been better, but, you know, I guess I was just nervous, but hopefully it's going to get better. Okay, now this next one is going to be Franz Liszt, and he was a 19th century Hungarian composer and virtuoso pianist, conductor, and teacher. As a composer, Liszt was one of the most prominent representatives of the New German School. He left behind an extensive and diverse body of work, and some of his most notable contributions were the invention of the symphonic poem, developing the concept of thematic transformation, and making radical departures in harmony. Now, Liebestraum is German for Dreams of Love, and it's the set of 3 solo piano works by Franz Liszt, published in 1850. Liebestraum number 3 is a standard repertoire piece and one of his most popular melodies. So this will be Liebestraum. Okay, I'm feeling a little more comfortable. I'm glad that was slow because the slower runs are easier. Okay, and you know, incidentally, I have played this at the church a few times, like maybe when it was like the offertory or something like that, like, you know, just as background music. But I tried to play some things that I've played here before. So in other words, like maybe you've heard the melody or something. And the same is true for this next piece, which is from the French composer, pianist Claude Debussy, who was one of the most prominent figures associated with impressionistic music and among the most influential composers of the late 19th and earlier 20th century, with his use of non-traditional scales and chromaticism. His composition, Clair de Lune, which means moonlight, is the third movement in his suite Bergamasque and one of his most recognized melodies. Okay, so this would be Clair de Lune. Thank you. Okay, so that was the quiet before the storm, so we're really getting ready to get out there now, so. But, okay, so, you know, I went to USC, to CSUB, and I had the good fortune to go there, and so I spent, I guess, maybe 2 or 3 years there. And while I was there, I was a music major, and to be honest, before that, the piano had kind of went to the wayside, so I hadn't been practicing. But when I went there, and I was a music major, then, you know, I kind of got into practice. And so even though when I left, and I'm still working on getting my degree, but even when I left, I kept practicing because I just felt like I had invested so much time that I didn't want to stop. And I'm glad I did, not so much for this concert, but just because that was important. But in any way, but when I went there, I had a teacher, and I'm going to be real quick with this, but I had a teacher back when I was probably the late 70s or early 80s. His name was Mr. Taylor, and he was my theory teacher at LA City College. And so he told me, he said, you need to take this form and analysis class. But they didn't really offer it at LACC because it's an upper division class. So when I got here, I met this other gentleman, Dr. Haney, for the tuition, you know, when you're first going to get in school. And so the main thing I told him, I need this form analysis class. And so he was trying to say, well, you know, maybe you're not ready and you should, you know. I said, no, I need form analysis. But anyway, so this fugue has something to do with form and analysis, but I took this teacher's name was Dr. Doug Davis, and I learned so much about the form and analysis. In the first semester, we had to analyze the sonata form and different things, but in the second semester, we analyzed the fugue form. And so I'm going to play a fugue right now, and this fugue is the fourth movement from Samuel Barber's Opus 26 piano sonata that was composed in 1949. The sonata was commissioned by the League of Composers for their 1950 25th anniversary, and Vladimir Horowitz was the first to perform it. Now, the fugue grew out of early polyphonic vocal music, but John Sebastian Bach in the 18th century brought the genre into full fruition with his skill in counterpoint, harmonic, and motivic organization. Samuel Barber's fugue have many of the same elements as Bach's fugue, but with the addition of many 20th century musical ideas, including extended chromaticism and tone rolls. A fugue generally consists of a series of expositions and developments. The parts include a subject, an answer, a counter-subject, a false subject, and a coda or cordetta. Some of the contrapuntal variations include stretto, argumentation, diminution, pedal point, retrograde, melodic intervention, sequence, and counterpuntal intervention. So these are the things that you'll be listening for. And I'm going to, before I start, I'm just going to show you a little bit, because if I just sit down and start playing, it's going to be out there kind of, and then you're not going to know what to listen for. So I want to just explain it a little bit, and I'm going to be quick with it. But basically, so the subject is going to be like the first thing to introduce the fugue. Now, fugue is similar to a canon or a round. Like, you know how you go three blind mice, and then see how they run, and then another. So a fugue is something sort of like that. So now this particular opening statement is a little bit long, but that's going to give me practice to work on it while I do it. So I'm going to play you the opening statement just to get a feel of it, but it goes like this. Okay, so that's what you're going to be hearing throughout the whole thing. Okay, but mostly you'll hear fragments of it, and I mentioned these couple of things like retrograde and pedal point augmentation. That means that the melody is going to go slow and it's going to last longer, where diminution means that the melody is going to be played fast. But you'll be hearing fragments, so you may not exactly hear the whole thing, but you'll hear things like. And so you hear stuff like that, or you hear this other one, which would be like a counter melody. You'll hear this. Okay, so that's what you'll be hearing. So, okay.
So where's the argument? Tell us a little about the argument. You said that you have a subject and then you have the argument.
Well, it's a subject, and then you have like a counter subject, but the subject is basically the theme. And so this is the theme, which is kind of out there. But hopefully I'll be able to bring that out and you'll hear it. Like, you're going to hear it like. So you're going to keep hearing these little things. You're going to hear them over and over, but that's what you want to be listening for in this music, okay? So I just want to give you the heads up, because otherwise, you know, when I start, you're going to go, whoa, wait a minute, okay? So anyway, Okay, so here we go. So this is Samuel Barber, his fugue from his piano sonata, and it's very interesting. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, thank you. God, you guys are the best audience, I'm serious. Okay, okay, now, this next one is by the same composer. And so the reason I wanted to play two, because that one was more atonal and it was a little bit out there, although there's a lot of tone and it's really beautiful, but maybe it's kind of out there. But this one is going to be a little bit more accessible to where that I think that you'll like it. And this is from, so this Souvenirs, this was it was a suite that Samuel Barber wrote, and Souvenirs Opus 21 was written in 1951 for the piano forehand. So it started out to be like him and I guess some friend of his, and they could, like when they go to a party or go to someone's house, and they could, you know, do duet piano. So that was the original composition, but then the next year he made one for solo piano, and that's the one that I'll be attempting to play today. And he did that in 1952, and as well he did one for the orchestra. The latter version was being used as a ballet. Now, the Souvenirs is a suite of 6 dance pieces consisting of a waltz, a Scottish, a pas de deux, a two-step, a hesitation tango, and finally the gallop, and that's what I'll be playing, the gallop. And the gallop allegro molto, which alternates a melodic wit and a salon-like style to forge a delightful work of unique color and humor. So this is going to be this will be the gallop by also by Samuel Barber. Okay, so hopefully you could see, because they were both the same composer, but hopefully you could see that this was a lot more tonal and a lot more accessible, you know, musically. Although the other one is beautiful too, but it's a different kind of beauty. Okay, so now, okay, I'm going to tell a quick story about this next piece. This one is Der Fledermaus by Godowsky. And I'm going to go back to LA City College real quick, and then I'm going to talk about CSUB. But this particular piece, Der Fledermaus by Godowsky, he did a transcription from Strauss, and it means the bat, and it's an operetta composed by John Strauss to a German text by Karl Hafner. And Strauss was known during his life as the Waltz King because he made so many waltzes and stuff. And then not only that, he was largely responsible for the popularity of the waltz in Vienna during the 19th century. So in this particular piece, the Fledermaus, back when I was in school, there was about 5 of us that played piano, like we were kind of, we were the people, we were the piano players. But there was this one guy who was probably similar like how I am now, and so no one knew how good this guy was. And in fact, like I'm thinking, I'm the best because, I was thinking like that. But anyway, so this one particular day, it was his turn to play. And he sat down, and he played this piece, Der Fledermaus. Okay? And in the meantime, I think I was working on the Samuel Barber, that fugue I played earlier. But the Fledermaus was so cold, and I couldn't really ask him because we were like enemies, sort of, so I couldn't ask him, man, let me have the music. So I went in, I found the music in the library, and it took me over 25 years to learn how to play it. I'm serious. And what happened, I went to Cal State, and I was talking to this other teacher, Dr. Chang. And so she told me, because I said, I really want to learn how to play this. And she said, well, I'll help you, but you need to practice it over the whole summer. So that way, when I come to school, we'll have time to do it, because the quarter, it goes by really fast. So I practiced it over the whole summer, and she even told me, oh, I'm so impressed at how well you learned it in that time. And what's funny is that when I played it for her, and then she was showing me some stuff, she played it better than me. And I think she was just sight reading it, and I had practiced it all summer and plus for 25 years, and it was unbelievable. Okay, I mean, she's really a phenomenal teacher, along with all of the teachers there, really, including my physics teacher. But, okay, so just really quickly, I just want to talk about Leopold Godowsky a little bit, because he's the one who transcribed this, okay? So Leopold Godowsky was a Polish-American pianist, composer, and teacher. He was one of the most highly regarded performers of his time. As a composer, Godowsky has been best known for his paraphrases of piano pieces and other compositions, including the Fledermaus, which he enhanced with ingenious contrapuntal devices and luxuriant chromatic harmonies. Godowsky's phenomenally difficult transcriptions and impeccable technique prompted some of the critics to describe him as a pianist for pianists. Among his admirers were such distinguished pianists as Vladimir Depachman and also Sergei Rachmaninoff. I thought that was important, because if Rachmaninoff is looking up to somebody, they had to be really good. Okay, so who, according to Godowsky's daughter, idolized her father's music and performance. Godowsky's vast repertoire spanned more than 2 centuries of music, from the contemporary music of that time to also Rameau and Lully. And Lully was a gentleman that got all the violin players to do their bowing in unison. Okay, I think that's what he was known for. But anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be, this is the main piece of the whole concert. Yes.
This Johann Strauss Fledermaus, if I'm pronouncing it right.
Right.
Any relation to Johann Sebastian Strauss?
Well, okay, Strauss had 2 younger brothers, and I didn't put them down, but it was like Edward Strauss and another one. And all 3 of them composed music, but Johann Strauss, he was the oldest one, and then he was the one that's like, I think, the most famous. He was the one that they called the Waltz King, but he came from a family of musicians, and they all did mostly like dance music, but waltzes and stuff like that.
So this guy's a brother of...
Well, no, okay.
This is the man right here.
Right, well, actually, what this is Strauss made the tune. In fact, the tune, it goes like this. Okay, but what Godowsky did is that he embellished it and put all kind of, like I think I said it was about chromatic. He embellished it. He made it like unbelievable. Besides unbelievably hard, I told you it took me over 25 years to learn it. But besides that, it's so beautiful, and like you'll see what I mean. You have to hear it. But anyway, So without any further ado, this will be my attempt at, now I'm not gonna do any repeats because it would just make it long and it's already long, but so hopefully you'll enjoy it. All right. All right. All right. Guys, what a good audience you guys are. I'm telling you, I want to take you with me next time I go play somewhere. Okay, now this next song is going to be by Edward McDowell, and I didn't really write up anything on him because a lot of the pieces I had a history. Like some of them I've been playing since I was a child, although some of them I just learned, like that one, the Churney was new, and also that Gallup was new. But I think because of Dr. Chang, she helped me so much. And you know, I can't remember exactly what she said, but she told me something like, she was going to teach me how to play the piano where, in other words, like I was not going to, so to speak, need her. Sort of. But like she taught me so much. I mean, so much. But I think because of all the things that she taught me, I was able to figure out how to play it a little bit. Okay, and I still need more lessons from her. She's really good. And also Dr. Davis as well. They all are very good. But anyway, so this Edward McDowell, I was thinking, what can I play that's new? So this is new. I don't have a history of playing it. I never played it. But it's real easy because I wanted to play something that I thought would be meaningful and that people would understand. Because I think that's important, like not play a concert that is so out there that no one knows what you're playing. And so on this one, it says, Edward McDowell was an American composer and pianist of the Romantic period. And Woodland Sketches was a piano suite which includes his most popular short piece, To a Wild Rose. Now, I kind of chose this piece, I think, subconsciously because of Rose Wider, you know, because she's been really, you know, beneficial to me and everything. And so I think that subconsciously that's how the piece came. Oh, there she is, okay. But anyway, so I just want to say that, you know, this is kind of a dedication to her and, you know, a thank you to her. She knows, you know, she's helped me so much. But in any event, so this piece is for her and also for you guys. And this is To a Wild Rose, and it's pretty nice. I knew it was short, and but I thought it was going to be something that was nice, and you know, so that way you could see that I don't always play all kind of real weird stuff that no one can understand. Okay, so now we're at the point of the service where it's going to be a congregational song, and it's going to be Lift Every Voice and Sing. And the reason why I picked this song is because, and I don't want to say that I'm black, because I don't mean it like I'm black, but like, and so it's important for me to kind of give honor to my heritage and that kind of stuff. And so this next part of the program is sort of for that, because like black people, like they could be spiritual, not that they're the only ones. I mean, everybody is, okay? So I'm not, you know, trying to, you know, say anything, but I want to do the Lift Every Voice and Sing, which is the Black National Anthem, and so that's going to be a congregational song, and Shirley is going to come and help lead us in that. And so what I want to say is that, what did I do with that? Okay, well, anyway, okay, I guess I don't have that part. But anyway, so Lift Every Voice and Sing, the poem was written by James Weldon Johnson. And he was a civil rights activist in the early 18th century. Oh, here it is. He was a Bohemian American author and educator, diplomat, and songwriter, and early civil rights activist. So he and his brother, John Rosamond Johnson, who played the piano, and he was the one who put the music to the song, Lift Every Voice and Sang, and that was in 1900. And James Weldon Johnson, he wrote the poem in 1899. And so this song was first published by Edward B. Marks Music Company, and then the other thing I wanted to say is that the first time that they played it, it was first performed live by 500 black American students from the segregated Stanton School, okay, in Jacksonville, Florida. So this is going to be Lift Every Voice and Sing, and it's the Black Negro National Anthem. And look, we're only doing one verse, so it's not long, but I'd like for everybody to stand up, and then... B flat. Okay.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as a rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Okay, so this next song is going to be it's going to be sung by Shirley, and it's the Lord's Prayer. Okay, and the thing that I wanted to say, I looked on the internet about the Lord's Prayer because I thought this is real famous, but it's only famous for this time. When I looked on the internet trying to find the music, and I had trouble finding it. In fact, we had it here. That's the only way I got it. But there was over 600 different versions of the Lord's Prayer. And this one, although we all know it, but had we been born maybe 30 or 40 years ago, we would have never probably heard of it. It would have been another version. It was unbelievable how many versions. So this particular one was by Albert Hay Malott. And he was an American pianist, organist, composer, and educator. And then he composed the version that we're going to play right now.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever.
Well, I went over. I think I wrote too much. But so this last one to be really quick. This last song, I've been playing it here not every week, but almost every week at the end of the church service, and because I just felt that I liked the song, and plus it kind of has to do with the civil rights movement. But it's called "I Wish I Knew How It Feels to Be Free," and I know you all are going to recognize it because I do play it here almost every week, including I played it earlier today. But anyway, so Billy Taylor wrote the song, and he just passed away maybe last year, but he was a really serious jazz educator. And it says, who lectured in colleges, served on panels, and traveled worldwide as a jazz ambassador. Jazz critic Leonard Feather once said, it is almost indisputable that Dr. Billy Taylor, and he was a doctor as well, this guy is such a genius, but anyway, he was the world's foremost spokesman for jazz. In 1952, Taylor composed one of his most famous tunes, "I Wish I Knew How It Feels to Be Free," which subsequently achieved more popularity with the civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s. Nina Simone covered the song on her 1967 album, and it became the unofficial anthem of the civil rights movement in the 1960s. And it was also selected as one of the greatest songs of the 60s, according to New York Times. Now, Taylor appeared on hundreds of albums and composed more than 300 songs during his career, which spanned over 6 decades. And so, as our final tune is going to be "I Wish I Knew How It Feels to Be Free." All right. So look, I'm going to start it now. And I got the music right here. So, okay. But you guys are going to know.